Hey y'all, N4HNH here. I had a suggestion to shoot a video of my antenna farm. Well, that's not an antenna farm unless you consider, well, I guess there is a ham stick on there, about 7 feet of 40-meter ham stick. That's Bruce, my mobile. And then, well, I'll scoot around over here to the other side and you can see the 2 meter 70 centimeter antenna. That's a diamond NR770 and then a few other letters that mean it's black and uses an NMO mount. And that is an MFJ version ham stick. I've got original ham sticks as well, and I even have one of the ones made by Shark. And I really like the MFJ version and the Shark version because they break down after you set the SWR. That top piece can unscrew and then you can store it easier, whereas the original ham sticks not so much, because once you set the SWR, to take it apart you had to undo the screws that you used to set the SWR. So I like this version where I can set it, and then to stow it I just unscrew the top piece, but it keeps the set screws in the same place. So coming back here toward the backyard, there's the ladder line that feeds, let me zoom in. That's the center point of my, let's see, let's get up, there we go. There's the center point of my 160 meter doublet. And that is a, let me back up a little bit, maybe we can get a head-on shot of it. That is the ladder lock. Greatest invention for working with a ladder line. So I use that as the center point. And you will notice that it does run next to a gutter. You want to try to avoid that, but at least it's not running next to a vertical gutter. And it just encounters that one little section of gutter there. Now, working our way back, I'll go ahead and point toward the deck. You zoom out a little bit. So there is a Diamond X50 that I use for 2 meters and 70 centimeters. I used to have a longer antenna up there, a Diamond that was a repeater antenna at 7.8 dB. But if you look, let me show you the terrain here. There's a hill right there. There's a hill in front of the house. And so I was warming the dirt. I'm actually getting a better signal using the X50, which is only a 4.5 dB gain compared to the 7.8 dB gain. And you know, so if you're new to the hobby, generally the higher the dB gain, and you might want to go back and watch the video I did on how antennas develop gain, but higher dB gain is you're pushing more signal down toward the horizon. And so the higher dB gain antenna was hitting these houses and in the dirt. So actually I'm getting better range by using the lower gain antenna. And then over there on the other side, that's an HF antenna. That's a Cushcraft R5 vertical. It works 10 through 20 meters with no need for a tuner. And now let's go on ahead and look at the Fritzl off-center fed dipole. So this coax you see right here goes up to it. I've been waiting on a sunny day to be able to do this. There's the balun right there in the center. And that's 90 feet of aircraft control cable going to the right there. And then 45 feet going off the other side, which I don't really think you can see it, and it goes over and secures to a tree over that way. So off-center fed dipole from Mr. Kurt Fritzl in Germany. It is resonant on 6, 10, 12, 17, 20, and 40 meters, and a good bit of 75, 80 meters. And then you know, being off center fed, you don't need to use a tuner except to maybe touch up the ends of those bands if you feel the need to, or to use it on other bands that it's not resonant on. And it's performed well. That antenna's in it. This is the second QTH it's been at. It's approaching 30 years old, as a matter of fact. So then finally, my last HF antenna. Let me move over here. I don't know what they're banging on back there, but okay, there it is. That is a Zs6 Bkw. There's the center point. And that one is from N4HNH. I used to build all my antennas, but got busy, you know, life gets in the way. It comes down, there's the ladder line feed that comes down where you hook your coax, and I'm using RG8X. One of these days I'm going to replace that coax, but it's been here since 1998, and it's RG8X, so not terrible for HF, but I will be replacing it with LMR 400 when I do replace it. Let me back off a little bit so you can see the center point of that Zs6 Bkw a little better. Notice how the ladder line's twisted. That's to help it avoid being whipped around by wind. It's intentional. And Ni4L actually sends it to you already twisted like that. The sun's not hitting it very well, but it is center screen now. And that is about 94 feet and a few inches of wire fed in the middle. So it's a shortened, if you will, version of a G5RV. Although it really performs quite well, really. And it is resonant on the upper portion of 10 meters, the FM portion, and then all of 12, all of 17, 20, 40. And then with a tuner, you can work the other bands through 80. Zs6 Bravo Kilo Whiskey, Brian Austin was the designer of that. He took the original G5RV design and computer optimized it so that it would be resonant on, well, if you think about it, 4 bands and then a partial portion of, 10 meters. So there you go, Zs6 Bkw. Nothing fancy, no tower, no Yagi. I worked the world with wire and that one Cushcraft vertical. So that's the antenna farm. I guess the only other thing I might show you, for those of you who are interested, is I do have a ground rod. I don't even know if you can see it for the leaves now, but there's a ground rod. Yeah, it's down there, but I do have a ground rod right there. And I did put a ground rod over at the base of the Fritzl off-center Fed Dipole. There's one over there on that tree, and you can see how the rope there, I use pulleys. Yeah, let me see if I can zoom in up there to the center point of the, see that pulley? Focus on it right there, that pulley. So that's Dacron rope, and holding that ballon of the Fritzl up. And then I have a pulley holding up the Zs6 as well. And let me show you what I do with that. I get these rocks that are about just the right weight. So if the wind blows, you know, the tree moves, it pulls that rock up, but then the rock will just come right back down because of the pulley. And yeah, you might see some ladder line there wrapped around it. Let me show you. There it is right there. Because right up there on the side of that tree is a Ballon Designs choke ballon, a 1-to-1 that I used. That is my old G5RV. And one of these days I need to get up there and remove that ballon from the tree. Looks like one of the screws has come out of it anyway. So, and then here's a similar arrangement here with this rock. Now I haven't gotten a pulley on this one yet, so let me see if I can shoot from the back side. That's the 160 meter dipole, or doublet really. you feed it with ladder line. So you can see the center point there, see the rope going up to hold it. Well, all I did for that one was use a slingshot and get a sinker over the tree limb, so there's no pulley holding that one. But nonetheless, I still did my rock so that you know, if it needs to, it can pull some slack. And if I had a pulley, I mean, if it ever does, I just periodically come out here and check these rocks, and then I'll just pull them back tight again in case it ever did have to pull it. But if you do the pulley, then the rock will just, you know, float right back down. See that one over there? So as that tree sways, it pulls that rock up, and then when the wind stops, the rock just floats right back down. So you just have to search around, and you can see I got a creek bed here. I just searched around until I found just the right weight rock. That's the only hassle to it. But my antennas have been up here now for, let's see, 22 years, as a matter of fact. So, you know, installing them in a robust way will ensure their longevity. This one here, the 160 meter, did not always have a ladder lock center. Let's see if I can get it back on that thing. It didn't always have that ladder lock. When I first put it up, it was in a hurry, and I just soldered the ladder line to the leads with a dog bone insulator, and eventually it weathered and one part broke. If you're going to do this type of an antenna, I highly recommend that you spend 20 bucks and get a ladder lock, and it'll be there probably forever unless something really crushes it. Okay, so that's the antenna farm. 4 HF antennas, 1 dual band base station antenna, and that Cushcraft R5, by the way, has endured hurricanes, and I've had that antenna for, wow, since the mid 1990s. Never had to do a thing to it. As a matter of fact, when I moved QTHs, I took it down. All I did was break it down in half, marked it with a Sharpie. It's got some like hose clamp things. Undid one of those, took it in half, broke it down in half, transported it over here, put it back together, hoisted it back up. That's even the original mast, by the way. All right, so I hope you enjoyed a tour of the antenna farm, and appreciate my Patreons helping me keep this channel going. If you'd like to become a Patreon, go to patreon.com/N4HNH. And of course, you know, if you will, like the video, click the bell, subscribe, all those things help to keep the channel going. Thanks a lot for watching, and this is N4HNH saying 73.